7 November, go.
We taxied up to the catapult and went through all of our checks and got shot off into the blue and climbed out and headed for the beach. Somewhere in the process, about 4,000 feet of altitude, we took a hit. So I turned the aircraft back toward the Tonkin Gulf. The control stick froze in my hand stiff. I couldn't move it, and it became clear at that point that we couldn't stay with the airplane any longer.
1966, North Vietnam. It was supposed to be a routine mission, but for the daring young Navy pilot, it became the mission that would change his life. Shot down and dragged from the water, his horrifying journey began.
My entire body was sore. I'd been beaten by the crowds in small villages and hamlets along the way, so I was really kind of a mess when I got there. Finally, after traveling for about 12 days, no medical care, we reached the outskirts of Hanoi, and that early morning continued on right down to the very heart of Hanoi and pulled up in front of this huge, formidable-looking fortress of a prison called Hoa Lo, which in Vietnamese means fiery forge. A huge, heavy wooden door slammed behind me. A big iron bolt clanked home in the lock outside, sort of a note of finality. And I think that's when it really hit me. I found myself in this filthy, tiny cell, high ceiling, a tiny yellow light bulb glowing very high, but not really giving much light. And that cell just reeked of the human misery that had been there before me.
It was after a long period of limited communications with other prisoners, extreme torture, and insufferable humiliation that Captain Gerald Coffey started a new journey, a journey towards faith in God and in mankind.
Help me to understand how I'm supposed to use this experience. Help me to use it to go home, whatever that might be, as a better, stronger, smarter person in every possible way that I can. And that was the turning point. The realization and the acceptance that there was indeed a purpose. I was supposed to learn something from this in ways that would allow me to use it for good in the future.
With this newfound sense of purpose, he could withstand the most abhorrent punishments devised. In 1973, after 7 long years, he was released and returned to his home and family.
We got the kind of homecoming that every Vietnam veteran should have had. And of course, our processing there at Clark Air Force Base was a very happy time, a very joyful time. Immediately going to a telephone and calling my family in Florida, talking to my wife, talking to my children on the telephone, anticipating my return.
Since his retirement from the U.S. Navy in 1985, Captain Coffey has inspired thousands of people through his poignant speeches and his powerful book, Beyond Survival. Drawing from his experiences in and out of confinement, he shares a message of boundless courage, invincible strength, and an admirable sense of faith.
People have sometimes asked me, how could you come out of an experience like that without feeling bitter, at least toward your captors, or about your fate, or about your lot in life, or having had to spend that time? Bitterness, like misery, is optional.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Captain Gerald Coffey.